Welcome back to Channel Report. Thanks for staying with us. Now, a Jersey optician has returned from Burkina Faso in Africa after helping to improve the eyesight of thousands of people there.
Yes, Dave Baker was one of 8 volunteers to go on a 2-week project organised by Vision Aid Overseas. The charity sends opticians to various countries in Africa to carry out eye tests and give out glasses. Well, I'm pleased to say Dave joins us now safely to tell us about his trip. And Dave, before you went, we obviously spoke to you about it, and you expected to be very busy. Were you in the end?
It turned out to be a lot busier than we expected, because the area that we visited hasn't had as much service as other areas that the charity helps. So it was very, very busy. Each day we arrived there would be at least 200 people waiting for us, and we used to arrive at sort of 8 in the morning. So many of these people had set off walking from their villages for an awful long way. So it was incredibly busy. In total, in the 2 weeks we tested, we saw over 2,500 people. So as you can imagine, pretty busy.
What were some of the eye conditions that you came across?
Well, the strange thing is that out there, obviously, we came across an awful lot of conditions which you'd never ever see here. A lot of tropical eye disease, a lot of trachoma, blinding eye diseases that you'd never come across here. But the fortunate thing for us was that 90% of the people just needed help with glasses, either very short-sighted, very long-sighted, unable to see, and all they needed was a pair of glasses to completely change their life.
And how did they react when you were able to treat them?
Well, if you can imagine, if you get someone who's pretty short-sighted, many of them can't see more than 50 centimetres in front of the face, particularly clear. So to be able to give them that sort of restore their eyesight back to normal for the first time, many of them for the first time in their life, is incredible.
And what were some of the working conditions like that you went through?
Well, tricky, very difficult, because, for instance, the first week we were there, we set up a sort of makeshift clinic in a little town called Yako, which was obviously very basic. But the second week, probably even more difficult from a working and a living point of view. The second week we had no electricity, no running water for an entire week. So yeah, pretty difficult, but we worked our way through it.
Now we've got some pictures of a girl called Claire,
Right.
which I've just brought up now. What was her story?
Well, on the Thursday of the first week, that was 2 weeks ago today, we visited an orphanage in Yako. A lot of children there, but one girl that particularly stood out was Claire, because she's an albino, and if you can imagine, being an albino in a tropical country is incredibly difficult, because everything's so sensitive to the sunlight, your eyes, the skin can barely go out. So obviously life was very difficult for her, being an albino, being an orphan. But we were told that Claire had never been to school because her eyesight was too bad, which they assumed was associated with her albinism. So we invited a lot of children from the orphanage to come and see us the following day. And when I saw Claire, it was obvious straight away that all she was incredibly short-sighted, and that was why she was unable to see. So sure enough, we had some glasses for her in a prescription. Previously, it was a pair that I'd taken down here from Jersey, that used to belong to a patient here in Jersey. And so all we needed to do was fit her up with a pair of glasses and completely change her life.
It must feel great to be able to do that,
Yeah.
change someone's life.
It is wonderful. I mean, it's sad for the few that we can't help. Although, to be honest, there was over 500 people there completely blind through cataracts who we've managed to pull out, list them for surgery, because we have a team of surgeons going down there in February. So again, they'll have the sight restored in a few months' time.
We've nearly run out of time, but very briefly, would you do it again?
Definitely.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dave. That's great. Thanks for coming in.